Hey everybody, it's Steve, Short Shift Garage. So I want to have some fun today, and I'm going to stir the pot. And when I get done stirring the pot, we're going to take what's in the pot, we're going to throw it in the oven, we're going to bake a cake. And we're going to say happy birthday, everybody. It's not my birthday. The end result will be like having a huge birthday party, because you'll wake up and you'll say, God, never thought of it this way. So let's talk about wideband O2 sensors. You need them on a Dodge. Or do you? No, you don't. You do if you boost it, okay? Because then you've changed so many things. You've changed the whole parabola. So, but if you're staying stock in no, you don't need a wideband O2 sensor. If you're doing a GM or a Chevy, yeah, you probably should have one, because they're so crappy in the way that they do things. You have to add a wideband O2 sensor to get accurate data. But on a Dodge, you don't, because you know what? Wideband O2 sensors measure AFR, air fuel ratio. If you go out there and you buy a wideband O2 sensor and you can set it up for fuel to air ratio, you let me know, because I'll be the first one on buying it, just to see if it actually works. But actually, it won't be any different than the narrowband O2 sensors you have now. Now, why is everybody out there so adamant about the fact that you need a wideband O2 sensor? It's because that's the way they've been taught. It is nothing more than that. I went out and I had fun with ChatGPT a few minutes ago, because this has been bugging me for a long time. And I said, okay, figure out whether you need a wideband O2 sensor on a Dodge vehicle that is not supercharged. And he said, oh yeah, you got to have one because you can't do this, you can't do that. And I told him, you know what, BS. And I sent over my logs and said, you show me in this log where I don't already have all of that information and where it isn't accurate. And he goes, well, this could be bad. You know what, the car's running just fine. There's your proof. If my car is running just fine on a narrowband O2 sensor under FAR, fuel to air ratio, then why do I need a damn wideband O2 sensor? I don't. Let me show you something. Let's get over to my desktop. All right. Way too much crap in here for everybody to have to jungle through. But everything on here that I'm showing you is everything you need to understand this conversation, at least. I don't know if I'll get it through your skulls or not. Some of you will have a light bulb go on, some of you just are running on low voltage. So, fuel to air stoic. If you look at that, and you can change it in a Dodge, and that's where you set your commanded. This is your commanded right here, okay? Now, the EQ ratio is the equivalent. So 0.0701 is equivalent to lambda 1. It's the same thing to the system. So when I am in 1 here, let me roll this up a little bit. When this number is 1, it is a stoic of 0.0701. If I convert that, for some stupid reason, over to AFR, you can see I'm at 14.27. Let's do the math. Let's get this really deeply embedded in your brains. 1 divided by 0.0701 is 14.2653. Okay, it's rounding up down here. Right? All right, I'm off a little bit, but it's not. It's math. It's not because I'm doing the math to get that right there. I just built a math procedure in my math functions in order to calculate this, because we don't have AFR. Why would we want to go backwards when we're so far ahead of the game? All right, so people say, well, it's more accurate because I can read it over 5 volts versus just 1 volt. You can rescale your narrowband O2 sensors so it covers a 5 volt range. What did I just do? Look at this. Tell me that's not... I have it labeled wideband because I was going to try to fool you. But here I am at 4.5 volts. Never goes to 5, even though it is scaled to 5. And my narrowbands are on the left-hand side over here. And my fake widebands are here. Okay, do they scale a full 5 volts? Of course they do. You do it with math. All right. Now, if I am trying to figure out how far I am off commanded, or whether or not I'm holding commanded, which is what you want to do, unless you're going wide open throttle. The minute you go wide open throttle, you lose all exterior support. You go open loop, you're no longer using the O2 sensors. That's bullshit. They're still reading them. Okay, everybody says, it doesn't use them. How in the hell do you think it doesn't use them? How could you possibly have an EQ ratio if it wasn't using these O2 sensors to some extent, at least? Of course it is. It definitely is. My power enrichment, I know what that is. It's 0.104, and my fuel to air to fuel ratio, if I wanted to see it, it's going to be at 12.43. Is my lambda still at 1? Yes. That is my commanded, okay? Or is my desired, rather. Excuse me. That is my desired. 1 is my desired. It's giving me 0.871. Why? Because I shifted over to FA power enrichment, fuel to air power enrichment, not air to fuel to air power enrichment, and is adding this much time to the current pulse width of the injectors. We do it different, okay, on a Dodge. It's not the same as a GM or as a Ford. When I told ChatGPT to give me one damn good reason to run a wideband O2 sensor, I watched it search GM, Ford, and all sorts of different sites. And then it was out there. I said, okay, so you're so frickin' smart. Stop searching those stupid sites and use logic. Here's all the data I have. Do I need a wideband O2 sensor? And it came back very sheepishly, which is kind of weird. But it said, no, you don't. You're right. Okay. When do I need a wideband O2 sensor? Everybody says, well, you need it in order to log anything while you're in open loop. No, you don't. Okay. It's not going to help you. I have, if I was to create a chart, let's just do it, actually. Let's create a chart. And let me see if I can, where can I put it? Do I have enough room over here? Might have yeah, let me put it over here. I'll just, it doesn't matter really what I use. I can use the ratio. So I'll just go to my graphs layout, and I'll use, I'll clone that real quick, and I'll go over here, and I'll use my AFR, because, that's the way it is. We'll put 2 decimals in there, make the high value, it's never going to go over 15. Mid value is 7, and low value is 0. We'll make low in the green, actually in the red, and make the high value in the green. And now let's take a look. So let's look at AFR. Holy mackerel. Do I have wideband? Do I have data? Okay, so let me squeeze on up here. I'll get up here and show you that I'm actually in those load ranges. Yeah. So let's just go right on up there. That's my wide open throttle. Am I getting AFR? Does it show AFR? Am I seeing normal operations AFR? Am I achieving what I should be achieving when I ask for enrichment? Yes. Do I have power enrichment information that can validate that that's correct? Yes. Then why do I need a wideband O2 sensor? And the answer is you don't. All right, so I'm at 100%, 100.6% BE right now. This particular time at 12.67. That's right where I want to be. And I'll even admit to you right now, it's clearer to me when I look at it in AFR. But I don't need a wideband O2 sensor to get AFR. I have everything I need. So let's run back over to our desktop. So let me get rid of this guy here. So there you go. Prove me wrong. I know I'm going to get some comments on this. I hope I do, because that just means that well, if you're arguing with it, you're not thinking. And if you're arguing and you have to have one, like I said, you're just not thinking. You need to get your head wrapped around using lambda. Okay, lambda's your base. That's your commanded. Okay, but you have an equivalent ratio that is commanded. So lambda is your desired, and your EQ ratio is your commanded. You have the two products that you need. You don't need a wideband O2 sensor. If you want to watch it jump between 0 and 5 volts, scale it using math. It's not that hard. Okay, you all take care. Hope you have a great day. Hope I didn't piss anybody off. Well, I don't care. I don't give a shit if I piss people off or not. It's those that are listening who are learning that are going to get the most benefit out of this. So I'm pretty sure that we got some pretty smart cookies out there. I've talked to a few of them. You guys, those of you I've talked to, All right, you all take care. You have a good one. Take it. Bye-bye.